right, now it says we are live. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, anybody who is in the chat. Today we are going to be talking about Tour De Fleece, which starts next month. I am very excited because I did not get to participate last year. So, and then I've got my wonderful friend Shannon who actually picked up spinning. So she might be actually joining in this year. So
yeah, I'm pretty excited. This is the first year I have been able to participate.
mhm.
My goals are probably a little bit different than everyone else's, but we can get into goals and stuff like that later. But yeah, I'm really excited about this.
I am too, especially since, like I said, last year I didn't get to participate. And I have a few goals that I'm wanting to actually reach this go round. And yeah. So
Excellent.
if you are in the chat, please let us know that you can hear and see us okay. I know my Wi-Fi might be a little wonky. I think Shannon's done popped out a time or two.
Yep.
So Feather Song is here. She says, "Hi, Sid and Shannon. Good
Hey,
morning."
Lynn.
And then there is Mother Teresa. Good morning, Mom. How
Good
are
morning, Teresa.
you? I hope everyone is doing okay. And if you are watching the replay, please leave a comment as well so we can know
Mhm.
that you're doing fine. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you have any plans today or this weekend?
I do. It's Father's Day weekend, so our daughter is coming over and she's making us food tonight, even though I'm not a father, and so I'm pretty excited about that.
What's she making? Do you know?
I don't know. She actually went to culinary school out of high school. So she's very good at baking, cooking, all of that. She is a marketing coordinator at a medical staffing company. So, like, not remotely what she went to college for.
Yeah,
But
that's
she is an amazing home chef.
yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
always a plus. So
Yeah. So, I'm excited. It'll be good food. It'll be better than I can make myself. So,
there you go. There you go. It's always
mhm.
nice to have when somebody else cooks for you.
Yes. Yes. And then, of course, there's always like filming and editing that needs to be done.
Yeah, I understand that. I've completely slacked off. I mean, after that crochet long, I was like, I I need a break, and I've got things planned out and everything. It's
Mhm.
just the point of getting myself motivated and kicking myself in the butt and actually doing it. It's what I'm
Mhm.
having with right now.
My problem is staying on task. I mean, that's like a lifelong issue for me, but so I'm like, oh, I got all these fun summer projects. I want to film them. And then I'm like, oh, I should make my daughter a birthday gift. And then I'm like, oh, I found out this friend of mine is also going through the same uterus stuff that I am, and she is also having to get a hysterectomy.
Oh,
So I was like, I should make us matching shawls because it'll be
uh-huh.
like a hug. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. What am I doing? I got real projects, not just my own personal stuff.
It happens. You can always make both of y'all like a uterus pillow.
I
That's what I
thought
thought
about
you were.
that.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Well, it was kind of funny because at my work, we live in a very rural area.
Uh huh.
And at my work, gal came in and we were just talking, and she does a lot of crochet markets.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just kind of stays in like central Iowa and does those. But she was telling me the one she did like like last weekend, she sold $3,000 worth of plushies.
Excuse me. She sold how many?
$3,000 worth of plushies in one weekend. But I don't like doing
Heck
amigurumis.
yeah. That's the
But I was
thing
like,
right now.
maybe I
That's
could
been the
have her make us some
thing
little
for the last.
uterus pillows.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. So Feather Song is asking if we have any summer reads to recommend. I'm not a reader, so I don't know if you are. So I don't have any. I don't have any recommendations. I am very, very sorry.
I like I get kind of stuck where I will reread like the same books every couple years, and like probably my absolute, no, I would say my second favorite would be the Lord of the Rings Fellowship, the Return of the King, and Two Towers. Sorry, I had those in the wrong order. So those are always good reads. They're super long. I don't know. I'm kind of okay with The Hobbit. It's not as cool to me, but and then probably my favorite book of all time, and for some reason it's like accidentally controversial, but I think it is absolutely amazing, is Atlas Shrugged. So it was written in the 1940s by a Russian immigrant, Ayn Rand, who escaped the Bolshevik Revolution. And it's kind of about like how communism destroys everything. So it's definitely about economics, but it is by far the most intriguing novel I have ever read. It is super long. It has everything. It's got like powerful women. It's got what else do I want to say? I don't want to give stuff away. It's got pirates. It's got spicy bits in it, even though it's about economics. Great book.
Okay. And what was that called again?
Atlas Shrugged.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's, like you said, it's been around since the 50s, and it is amazing. But a lot of people really hate it and think she's an awful person. But then there's other people who are just like, oh my God, this is the best book ever. So.
Right. Yeah, you always have that one side or the other. So Feather Song, we've got Quilty that came in, and then of course my husband came in. Feather Song is saying she likes those movies, which I like Lord of the Rings too, or I used to have the whole series. But I've kind of gotten away from all of that. So she said that she's going to try to read the books. She said that
the books are great, Lynn.
Yeah, she said that she's heard of the book that you were talking about. She's never read it, but she's intrigued now.
I'm telling you, it is unlike, it's the only novel I've ever read where I had no idea what was going to happen. And I was like eagerly like trying to turn every page as fast as I could. My husband didn't want to read it because he's like, oh my God, it's going to be a textbook about economics. But then he read it and he's like, okay, this was pretty good. Right. But yeah, it's just like, if you like a book with a strong female lead, which is what's so weird, because like a bunch of like women hate her, but she's like the strongest feminist because she's like running a train company, even though women don't run train companies. And it doesn't say like what year it's in, but it's, you know, like basically kind of like in the 50s.
Yeah, you can kind of, yeah.
Yep. So I will quit talking about that because that is kind of nerdy.
Okay. So good morning, Jill Scott. Thank you. You know, blondes always have more fun. Depends on whether you're the one that's getting picked on or not, which most of the time it's the blondes that are getting picked on. And then Quilty said she loves the Left Behind series.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I am not a novelist. I do not read books. The only thing that I read is crafts.
Yeah.
Crochet or knitting crafts. That's all the crafts. That's the reading. I mean, I do research, but as far as like sitting down and actually, it's just not my thing. Not my thing.
I guess technically I am reading a book right now. It's called The New Menopause. My doctor told me to read it, but at first I was kind of offended. I was like, ugh. But now I'm reading it and I'm like, okay, this is kind of helpful.
Yeah. 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 That reminds me of that gift card the video that I sent you of that gift card that was at Walmart?
Yes,
That
yes.
I was like, I cannot believe that was actually
That was perfect timing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was either between that one or the one that I sent you, and I was like, she might like it. She would like both of them, but my husband was like, well, if she's going to open it on camera, she might be more willing to open it on that one. So
I would have done either one. I don't care. I don't have a lot of dignity.
it happens. Alrighty, so I guess we'll go ahead, since there is at least 9 of us in here, we'll go ahead and start talking about Tour De Fleece.
Great.
So for anybody who is in the chat that doesn't know what Tour De Fleece is, it is, if you've heard of Tour de France, it's Tour De Fleece is a coincide of that for spinners or fiber artists. It lasts for 3 weeks, and it actually starts this year on July 5th and ends on July 27th. And what happens is spinners will either get in groups, as far as like on Facebook groups, maybe even actually in person, or I think sometimes like different businesses might have like advent calendars. I think at a few years ago, Kamash Fibers might have done an advent calendar. I can't remember exactly if she did or not. But we just challenge ourselves to do something new as far as fiber arts related, spinning wise, blending fibers, just different kinds of stuff. And it's really not even limited to spinners, weavers. I mean, if crocheters or knitters want to get into it, they can as well. So
well, it's something where if you think about it, like because when I was making this gift for my daughter, I was like explaining to my husband, I'm like, yeah, I have 900 yards of yarn to make this, and he's like, that's insane, like the fact that that's like 9 football fields.
yeah.
So I think it's something where sometimes as like crocheters or knitters, we sometimes don't think about the sheer amount of yardage and like the fact that you could be crocheting a mile, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like it's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it's really crazy when you put it in terms of when you actually start learning how to spin yourself.
Yes.
And most, unless you get hand spun yarn, everything else is manufactured. So it doesn't take that much time. But when you actually get something hand spun, there's a lot of work and dedication that is put into it. Especially for those who, like myself, I don't necessarily shear anything as far as sheep or alpaca. Yes, that is on the books at some point in time. But even to the point of just processing those fibers, setting them up, it's a lot of work, patience, and time that is deeply involved in it. So I say it is, when you buy hand spun yarn, it is an honor when you can actually work with it.
Yes.
And so don't be afraid to work with hand spun yarn.
Yes.
You can admire it, but you should also work with it too. So, do you want to move into any of your goals that you've got for Tour De Fleece?
Yes. So I am not so much concentrating on the outcome. If that's how I want to say it, I want to concentrate more on the process because this is newer to me. I might do a little more spinning on my drop spindle because I have like 2 drop spindles and they both have some yarn on them. So I might try to just in the evenings, just maybe get a little more on there. But my main goal is to become more proficient with my spinning wheels. So I did get the like suede, I don't want to say ribbon, but the suede cord thing that you told me to get for my drive band.
Yeah.
So I have it. I need to put it on because the cotton stuff I was using was not working. It was just stretching and coming off. So my goal is to hopefully by the end of the 3-week period be able to actually get yarn on it, and be able to spin, because thus far I have only practiced treadling.
Hey, that's a good start, though. And like I've told you before, even if you need to just take already yarn that's been manufactured or whatever, and just work with that and kind of get the feel of it and your tension, that is a wonderful start there. I think that is a really good goal for you to have. And I'm excited for you to actually start learning how to spin manually.
Yes, me too. Me too. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm excited that I got my spinning wheel, and yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to not have to think so much about the process. Yes. So I think that this is a good opportunity for me to be like, okay, it doesn't matter if you accomplish anything on it, but just get familiar, be able to deal with your drive band easy, just get accustomed. I want to be able to spin without it accidentally going backwards on me. Like that's my goal.
Yep. It takes a lot of time and work, and you'll eventually, I mean, it comes as it goes. I mean, you'll eventually get it down, and then it would be like nothing.
But this is just a great opportunity to be like, okay, I can focus on it on these days, and just kind of like that extra little push to make me focus.
Yep, there you go. Now, are you planning on your channel talking about your process, or not your process, but your progress or anything?
I might do more of just like a vlog and just take little snippets, through the 3 weeks and combine them together, and then do just like one video after it's done. Because I don't think I'd have enough content to if you want to see me just treadling.
Hey, I mean, the people actually enjoy it as much as you don't think that they do. Yeah. They do. So real quick, I do see Mama Winch in the chat. Good morning, Mama Winch. How are you? It is good to see your face. And then is it Rory or Rory? Jory? Is that how you say your name? It is nice seeing you. I do not think I have seen you before, so thank you for coming in.
Yep, thank you.
Let me know what you're into. Are you? I do see your name says Game Bites. So I'm assuming you're a gaming channel. But we're just talking about Tour De Fleece and our goals. So Tour De Fleece, real quick, for those who just popped in, it's for spinners. It coincides with the Tour de France, and we just challenge ourselves, whether we're in a group or individually or however you want to challenge yourself. So for my goals, I do have a few. I am really wanting to learn how to chain ply. I'm a little intimidated by it because it looks very intimidating. And yeah, and so, but I think that I'm actually going to sit down and learn how to chain ply. Do you know what chain plying is, or the process of it? So it's from what I understand, you spin a single, and then it's like making a crochet chain while you're spinning. And I think it either makes I'm assuming it makes a 2-ply. Somehow it makes a 2-ply. But yeah, there's like a dance to it. And yeah, you've got to like be very proficient with your hands.
So not a move for beginners.
No, I definitely would not recommend that for. I mean, if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to do it, be my guest. But I probably.
But you might be setting yourself up for a more difficult day than you planned on.
You might. But
no, but I think that's the same kind of thing I'm going through, but on a different level where you're like, here's this big thing I want to accomplish, and I might not get a lot done, but this is a really great opportunity to use it as a time to really concentrate on it.
it is. It is. I know a few years ago when I did my little challenges for Tour De Fleece, I had where I was getting the Paradise Fibers spinning fiber box or fiber of the month, and then I moved to Kamaj Fibers. I had so much fiber in my closet that needed to go, and I wasn't spinning it fast enough. And so I sat down and I was like, I'm going to take every single day and I'm going to spend this much time spinning. And I got practically all of that spun up within those 3 weeks.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And then I also learned how to do an Andine ply. I think that's what it's called, is an Andine ply, which a lot of people who do spin on the drop spindle, it's also called, or you can do it as the center pull.
Gotcha.
And
yep.
it a one ply, but you can two ply it. Now, if you are two plying and then you, like what I do, run out of the yarn, and then I just ply the rest of my bobbin that's left over and just continue so I can use it all up, if that makes sense. It does kind of change the outcome of the yarn. So,
yeah, but it's how many times have we gotten like commercial yarn and there's a knot in it and it messes up the scheme. So
the way I do it, very rarely does it happen that I have a knot in the yarn. So yeah, I used to, when I was first learning, would just put a knot or tie it off, and then I learned how to actually spin it in while I'm already spinning. So, but
that is kind of the one nice thing I found when I've been doing some of my drop spindle is that, like, because I'm still learning, so there's been numerous times where I've accidentally spun it too thin and it just plops off because I spun it too thin. But it's like you can just work it back together, and there's no knot. It's just you just work the fiber together. So
yep. It is awesome that you can do that. Yeah. There's, when I was first learning how to spin, that's the issues that I had, was I wasn't spinning my ply well enough, and it would just rip. So I would get so frustrated, and but I eventually got it. So Mama Winch says that she's got to run and get some focus on finishing this top. Hugs and smooches. Love you. Thank you, Marianne. I usually call you just Mama Winch, for popping in. It was great to see you, and I hope you get your top done. I know she's been busy working on some market bags. She has been like popping them left and right.
Nice.
Yes, it's like every day she's got a new one or two that she's gotten done. I'm like, nice. Your hands are busy. I'm glad that makes one of us. Not me.
I'm like, I added another whip today, but no finished objects.
Yeah. I've been working on my Battle of the Stitches project for the last month, and it's something very, very simple that I should have been able to do in a day, but it's been taking me a month to complete. But
it's also different when you're trying to film aspects of it. And
yeah, but still, even the tutorial part of it, it's nothing, but it's taken me a month to get. Like I said, I have been so unmotivated and just not really wanting to do anything. I hate it because it's like I need to get stuff done, especially for what's coming in July.
Yep.
But I guess I needed the time. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. You need sometimes just to refresh and Yep.
So speaking of which, I have new things to come. I will go ahead and give some insights which I have already shared on my community page. But I do have a Macari now set up for where I will be posting my hand spun yarn for anybody who is interested in purchasing some hand spun yarn. So
Very beautiful. It's right there.
she's got 3 hanks sitting back there. So they're all different kinds of prices. How I priced them was based on the yardage and went from there. And then also what kind of techniques that I used and whether it was actually hand dyed by me or if it was dyed by somebody else. So
yeah, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So that's one thing that is coming, but the rest you'll just have to wait until July. Shannon knows, or Shannon knows, but
I do.
Else, you'll just have to wait.
Nobody will get it out of me though. I'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Which I am horrible at. I remember one time when I was a little kid, we had gotten my dad like a radio for Christmas, and I can't remember like what I was mad at him about, because I was probably like 7 or 8. Kids get mad all the time, and I was just like, oh yeah, well, you're not gonna get the radio I got you for Christmas. And he just like busted out laughing and was like, okay. I'm just terrible at secrets.
Right. Hi, Vima. How are you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, that's my daughter. Is you? If my husband goes and buys me something for like Mother's Day or Christmas or whatever, she might as well just stay with whoever, because I mean, as soon as you get home, she's like, yeah, Daddy got you this, or Mommy got that. It's like, child, it's supposed to be a surprise.
No, but it's just too exciting.
Yeah, and then she gets mad if we threaten her that next time she gets to stay home. She gets all worked up. It's like, yeah, keep your mouth shut, child.
I don't know. It's hard. It is hard.
Yes.
I just get excited. I want everyone to be excited.
Yeah, that's how I am, but I also know there's certain reasons why I've got to keep things private. So
yes.
It builds up a little suspense too.
It does. Some suspense is not bad.
No.
I feel like that's actually like when you're like in a job interview and they're like, what would you say your weakness is? And I'm like, I think my weakness is I get a little too excited, a little too easy, and then I get a little too intense.
Yeah. Mine is I just either move or be moved is my thing. Gotcha. I cannot stand people who are just there to collect the paycheck. I cannot stand it. It's like move or be moved, because you're in my way and I've got work to do.
See, I just feel bad for you because you get the brunt of my excitement a lot of the time. And you're like, I'm sure sometimes you hear your phone ding and you're like, oh, here's a 2-page text from Shannon with 14 ideas. Yay. I just get excited.
No, because it's, you'll say something or whatever, and it's like, okay, here's another idea, or, it's just a triggering effect. And it's like, we got one idea and now we've got like 15 ideas going on. Yes. So, I mean, it can be a little overwhelming, but I don't mind it because, like just
so you know, I use some restraint because I know you're an hour ahead of me. So if I come up with an idea like 10 at night, it is torture to wait till the next morning to text you.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, because I'm usually in bed at like 9:30.
Yeah.
Most of the time by 10 o'clock I'm already asleep. I'm young physically, mentally maybe, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's like,
sleep's important.
Yeah. It's funny that we actually talk about that because or got on that topic of discussion. My niece, it was very weird. A few months ago, my niece called me and I'm like, she don't ever just call me. I hope everything's okay. I mean, we text here and there, and I said, "Hello, is everything okay?" And she said, "Yeah, my sister, her, and my mom were all talking about whatever and asked me the question of it or what they were trying to get the bottom of. And then next thing you know, they're starting to call me a grandmother. That I act like a grandmother. And I'm like, seriously, y'all? Like, seriously? I said, I don't even have a wrinkle on my forehead. Well, I do have one right here, but besides the fact, I said, I don't even have a wrinkle on my forehead. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I'm not that old, you guys.
I'm grandma age, but I'm not a grandma yet. So,
but I guess, I mean, I do a lot of
granny
grandmotherly
activities.
hobbies. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess
I
it
just
ain't a
think
bad.
like a lot of those hobbies though are like good for your mental health, and they're just like nurturing, and it's not like a competitive thing. Like, it's just you do it because it feels good and it helps you feel better. And yeah, so maybe they're grandma hobbies, but who cares?
What I see is I'm learning. So I'm
Yep.
learning things new and
Yep.
what might be useful one day. So call me
And
a grandmother
here's
if
the
you want.
thing: 100 years ago, everybody was doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you were like 12 and didn't know how to do that, then you were kind of behind.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. There was something that, oh, it was like the what was it? Okay, like gender roles
Yeah.
in the household, or
Mm-hmm.
no, not even gender roles in the household. The like 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah.
That stuff like that. That's actually modern. It's
Yeah, it
not
is.
because like back in the older days,
Mm-hmm.
your work came to your home, or your
Yep.
work was your home. It was whatever
Mm-hmm.
um trade that you learned
Yeah.
or was skilled in.
Yep.
So yeah, me and my husband, we were actually talking about that a few months ago, that the 9 to 5 is actually the modern way.
Yep. It really is.
And yeah, that your work, I wish it was like that nowadays, is you didn't have to go to work. Your work came to you. So.
Me too. I'm ready to retire, but
Yeah.
so I did. I was talking with a gal I know, and she has I'm not sure what it is. It's like a etching machine or something like that. So I'm excited because I was talking to her yesterday, and I was trying to figure out like how I could get some little like fake leather tags, because she had showed me like some of what she can do, and it's like really intricate type of patterns and stuff like that. And so we are working on, she bought we were looking at all the different tags you could like pre-buy and then she could print on, but she actually said she's just going to buy a sheet of leather and then have the machine cut out the leather and then do the etching and stuff on it. So I'm excited to see what she comes up for me, and it's just something a little bit different, and I definitely don't want to invest that kind of money in that kind of machine myself. So I'm excited that because I've seen tons of them like for sale on Etsy and stuff like that. But this is like someone who lives a couple miles from me. And I'm excited, and I don't know, I'm just excited.
Yeah. So is it like, I guess, a laser engravement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Some sort of laser thing. Yep.
Yeah. I had since we're talking about engravement, I had a company reach out to me probably about a month ago now. I'm kind of upset about it because they never got back with me, but was wanting me to test out like the like pen engravement tools.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like wood, or I don't know if you can actually do, I'm assuming you can do it on metal, but pottery and stuff like that. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
which I've been talking about doing some engravement stuff with my
Yep.
husband, but they never got back to me. So,
I have found that quite a bit too, where I have like a company will email me and then I'll email them back, and then it's like they disappear. And yeah, I have found that to be the same as well. Or
yeah.
like if I don't respond like immediately, then it's like they move on to the other 2,000 people they just emailed,
That, or like it's those, I don't know if you get them, but I get them quite often. The ones that are wanting to help with your CEO or
Ugh,
SEO, that kind of
yes,
stuff, or help
that
you
is
with.
annoying.
It is. There was one, I ended up having to finally block them
Yeah.
because they constantly, I mean, I
Yep.
told my husband, I said, if I haven't emailed you back within the last like 2 emails,
Mm-hmm.
then you would think you would get the hint that I don't want your service. And I mean, they just kept on and kept on. I'm like, all right, block,
Yep. I
because you're
have
getting
had
on my
to
nerves.
do that too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
get excited when I see something in my spam because it's like, oh, maybe a company contact me to
Yep.
review one of their products, but it's that crap.
No. Yeah, I've had to block them too. And it is super annoying. And I'm just like, so you're emailing me telling me that my video is crap. What makes you think that like how is insulting me gonna get me to like use your services?
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Hold on. My stepdad, he something real quick. Hopefully you can still see me.
I cannot see you. You are all black, so I'm just showing off my shawl I'm working on right now.
Okay. So, can you see me now?
Nope, you're still black.
Maybe. There we go.
Now I can.
He said shout out. He said shout out something, and that's what I was trying to figure out what he wanted me to shout out. So Michi is in the building. Good morning, Michi.
Oh,
How
good
are
morning.
you? He wanted, she'd probably be mad at me if I shared that. My mom's birthday is at the end of this month.
Okay.
But their anniversary is in 2 days. So,
Ooh.
yeah, so I guess that's what he was wanting me to shout out. So, shout out to my mother and my stepdad for a happy anniversary and happy early birthday, Mom.
So she is younger than me, correct then? Like she will just be turning my age?
No, she, I think, is older than you.
Well, that would mean she's turning 50.
No, you're thinking about somebody else.
Oh, I thought your mom was.
Mm-mm.
I thought your mom was the same age as me.
No, my mom's older than you.
Oh, okay.
My mom was born in 70.
70?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was born at 76.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I thought she was. Yep, I got you.
Nope, she's older. My mom's becoming an old fart, and so is my stepdad. It's just
So
crazy to think.
is she turning?
Do what?
Is she turning?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Math is not my strong suit.
It's okay.
Well, that's a big deal. That's a milestone.
Yeah, and I'm actually excited because I get to see her. So this is
Good.
in a few years for her birthday. So
Okay.
I can't say that without her knowing because I'm pretty sure she's in here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I whispered the number.
Yeah,
As if she wouldn't see.
yeah, because she might be driving. I know they have to go get my niece Malia. She's coming down here My niece Malia is coming down, and then one of my nephews are coming down.
That'll be fun.
And then my sister, her and her 3 kids plus 1 are going to be staying at the house. So we're going to have a house full of 11 people and 2 dogs.
What will be the age range of the kids? Like youngest to oldest?
So my daughter is the youngest. So she is 5 and the oldest is 13.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I think the second to youngest is, how old is he? He might be 8.
Oh, so there's a decent gap in between there.
Yeah, I think
so the bulk of the kids are between 5 and 8. Did I understand that right? Maybe I need more coffee. You said the second oldest, second youngest.
Second youngest. Sorry.
Oh,
second youngest.
I had that backwards.
I might have said it wrong. You know how I am. I twist my words.
I do too.
I was actually looking up that because I have, especially like when I started noticing it was my husband and I were talking about motocross.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always have to correct me because I would say cross motor. And he's like, it's motocross. And that's what got me tuned into looking it up, why I do that. And from my understanding, it's actually a form of dyslexia.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But it's like a speech. There's actually a name. There's a certain name for it, but it's a type of dyslexia.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I just got to curiosity kills a cat and started doing a little bit of research. And, yeah, it's, I guess, some form of dyslexia.
But if it helps you figure out why you do things, and then it's like you don't get frustrated like it's a character flaw, you know? Like you're just like, okay, there's a legit reason I'm doing this.
So there's my mom. She said Noah and Mac are 9. Okay, so I was which Noah just had a birthday at the beginning of May. And then Malia is 11, Jaden is 12, and Emma will be 14. Yeah, that's another one is my oldest niece, Emma. Her birthday is also on June 23rd. So
that's kind of nice. Get everybody together and
yeah. Yep. Because my sister, she's coming down with one of her friends. They're going to stay at the beach. And then my mom is coming down. So I guess we're going to have like a little get together. And then we got to all hike it up there for a family affair. And not so fun family affair.
But this is me going to be ignorant, but like you don't have, it's not like hurricane season or anything, right? Like you don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
I think it actually just started hurricane season.
Oh.
Yeah, or it's starting soon. I can't remember exactly when hurricane season starts, but we should be in the clear.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we should be in the clear. Other than some thunderstorms that are going to be rolling through, I think we're good. So
good.
Most of the time when we do get a hurricane, it's coming up through Florida. And usually coming through the Gulf.
Okay.
Yeah, very rarely does I say that.
Something like just come straight at you.
Yeah, very rare. We're also kind of, unless it was like a major hurricane, I think we're far inland that it wouldn't really affect us too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than high winds and heavy rains.
Okay.
But you never know because things can change.
For sure. For sure.
I always hate when hurricane season does come around because it scares me because you just, especially that severity of weather, you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, our friends that were down in Florida, they got hit bad between Debbie and Helene. They got hit really, really bad.
Okay.
Their town flooded. Both,
Ah,
yeah. And I can't even remember how many feet of water the town was under. Probably at least 7, maybe 7 feet underwater.
okay.
So they got flooded
Yikes.
bad. Yeah. But it doesn't help that Florida is also below sea
Sea
level,
level,
or
yeah.
yeah, or right at sea level.
Yeah, that would definitely make a difference.
Yep. Yeah, my husband was saying a few years ago that he was talking about moving down to Florida, and I'm like, uh-uh. I mean, I know you grew up there and everything, but for one, I have a hard time with the heat, and
Yeah.
already here, the heat gets to me. I am not moving to Florida. Not to mention all the hurricanes and all that. Nope, we are not moving to Florida.
Like, I gripe all winter long about being cold, but I honestly tolerate that so much better than summertime.
Yes, unless it's like negative degrees and
Oh, we
bitter.
get that a lot. We do get
Yeah,
that a lot.
yeah, and bitter cold, like bone chilling, bone hurting. That's when I'm like, all right, go on somewhere else.
Like, it's just Iowa can't do anything in moderation. We're just like extreme. It's like extreme heat and humidity or extreme cold and snow.
Yep.
No middle ground.
It's here. I mean, it's even during the winter time. I mean, I think this year we actually got down in the teens. Well, we got snow for the first time in 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, and I
But
think when you
most,
sent me that picture, you actually had more snow than we did at that
yeah,
time.
yeah, I think we ended up getting 3 inches, which is very, very rare down here. Um, but I think we usually stay between, sometimes we'll drop down in the 20s in the wintertime.
Oh,
But I
geez.
think most of the time we stay between 30, and then in the summertime it can get up to over 100.
Ugh.
Yeah. I know, was it not last year, but the year before last, we were actually going to go on 4th of July, watch fireworks on the beach. And we made the stupid move of going too early. And because I was kind of anticipating that they were going to have some parades and everything,
Yeah.
the heat index was 110.
Oh, that's awful.
And my husband, we were originally taking the car, but we ended up having issues with my Jeep.
Okay.
So we ended up having to turn around and take my husband's truck. He doesn't have AC in his truck.
Oh, that's
So
awful.
we were stupid enough to go ahead and drive all the way down to Myrtle Beach, which is an hour and a half in the heat. And because we were going to go out to eat, and then we were going to go do a few things, or I was going to catch a parade or two. By the time we got done eating, we were like, nope, let's turn around and go back home. And because I was over the heat, we were sitting there in the truck just sweating. I mean, just drip sweating. And
Yeah, I
my
would be like
daughter,
a melted, sweaty puddle.
yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So, but hopefully this year we won't be stupid enough to go too early and actually be able to catch.
Do you want me to send you a reminder text? Like, hey, stay at
Maybe.
home another couple hours.
Maybe. But yeah, that was miserable, absolutely miserable. Yeah, we were gonna go last year to catch the fireworks on the beach,
Okay.
and we had my nieces and nephews, and we were gonna go catch a boat parade that was in Merle's Inlet. It wasn't nothing. It was
Oh,
not anything, and either they hadn't started or it just wasn't what it was
wasn't
made out to
good.
be. Yeah, and I told my husband, I said, I am not sitting here for another 3 hours with 4
Oh,
kids.
nope.
I'm not doing it.
Nope.
So we ended up turning around or went back home and actually set off the fireworks that we had here. So
Yeah, that sounds
maybe
like a better
this year.
time.
Maybe this year. But I mean, we've only been down here. August makes 4 years, so we don't really know as far as, you know, where to go and where not to go or when to go. So we made the mistake last 2 years. I think I lost Shannon.
No. Oh, you lost me? I'm sorry.
Maybe.
Hello? Hello?
Can you guys hear myself or Shannon, or can you guys...
Can you hear me now? You must not be able to hear me. I can hear you. I'll go down to the chat.
So you can hear me. I cannot see you, Shannon.
Okay.
You're just sitting there rotating.
Oh. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay, you got me?
Yep, I got you.
Okay. Good, 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 good.
Yeah, you were just sitting there spinning, and then it showed on my side that Wi-Fi was like disconnected or something to do with the Wi-Fi. So I thought, well, maybe it's just me. And then my laptop disconnected from the chat. So I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I could hear and see you the whole time, though.
Okay.
So it's a good thing you didn't pick your nose or something, because I would have seen it.
Yeah, I don't think I would pick my nose online.
Well, if you thought no one was watching.
Oh, well, I mean, if I did, it was probably my nose ring. All right.
I used to have a nose ring, and I absolutely loved it. I had it for like 10 years. And then I had a surgery, and I was like, you know, you have to take everything out. And I told my husband, I'm like, help me remember to put this back in. And I was drugged up afterwards, and I don't do well with anesthesia, so I was throwing up and sleeping. And then like the next day around noon, I got up and I couldn't stick it back in. It had already yes.
That quick.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I was just too lazy to get it done again.
Yeah, and then it usually hurts the second time that you've got to get it repierced.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I have been too lazy to get my ears repierced. I'm just like, nah.
I've had my ears pierced 3 times. I had my ears pierced when I was younger, and I was at the babysitter's, and one of them fell out, and I believe I was actually asleep when my mom was trying to put the earring back. She probably will deny it, but I think I was halfway asleep when she was trying to put the earring back in my ear, and I threw a fit about it. So she just went ahead and took the other one out.
Yeah.
And then the next time I went to go get my ears pierced, I was in the 5th grade. And that's when I found out that I'm assuming I'm allergic to gold. I don't know if it was actually real gold or not, but they said that it was, I think 14 karat gold earrings that my dad bought me, and put those in. And I mean, it just knotted my ears up bad.
Oh, no.
And I mean, my mom, she tried to put them in my ears, and I mean, I just threw a fit. I mean, it was bad.
But yeah, they were probably like super inflamed. And
yeah, and I said, I'm done. I'm not putting them back in my ears. I don't want them back in my ear. So I think I finally went back and got my ears pierced when I was 19. 20.
Okay.
So I've had my ears pierced for probably about 8 years now.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. So far so good. I mean, there's times that I went probably. I do try to like pierce them every once in a while if I don't wear earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Every few months, I do try to re-pierce them or stick an earring through them
Yep.
so they don't close up. But I think there for almost a year, I did not wear earrings at all.
Oh yeah.
And so
So that was my problem. I waited too long and I didn't stick anything in there in the interim. And then when I went to, nothing was going back in there. So
yeah, it definitely. When Walmart did do earring piercings, that's where I went, and they did a gun,
mm-hmm.
and that's really bad. You need
Yeah.
and so I think the lady who did my ears, she messed up and went at an angle. So one of your ears, I can't remember which one it is. I actually have to, when I stick the earring in, I have to kind of mess with it and pull my ear down, and yeah. When I haven't put earrings in for some time, it does. I get that crap.
Little bit of heat and
yeah. I get that.
I think if I were gonna do it again, I would go to a piercing place, like a tattoo piercing place, to get them done. Yeah. Because I think I would have a lot better results doing that.
Yeah, and it's a lot better when they do use that needle.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got my nose pierced. My mom took me to an actual piercing place. And got my nose done.
Yep, so, me too.
Which I've had my nose pierced. I think I finally convinced her at the age of 16 to let me get my nose pierced. So I've had it for 11 years now.
Okay.
Yep. I like my nose ring. There's sometimes that I'm like, I want to take this out and not even worry about it, but then it's part of me. So
yeah. No, I really liked mine. But then I was kind of like, once it closed, I was like, am I too old to go back? Like, I don't want to be the old lady showing up at the place. And
it just makes you look cool. It makes you look like a cool mom or grandmother, whatever.
Or does it make you look like you're an old lady trying to be cool? Because that's kind of the vibe I thought I was giving off.
Hey, as long as you like it, who cares?
Well, and that's the thing. I could be like, oh, I've had this 10 years. And then I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But to be like, oh, I just got this redone.
Yeah. As long as you're happy.
Yep.
Who cares? It's when I did go get my nose pierced, it was either between getting my nose pierced or getting my industrial done. And I had a friend who had her industrial done. And I got to talking to her about it and everything. She's like, just let you know, you gotta be really careful brushing your hair and use straightener. And it can get infected really easy. When it does get infected, it like your ear swells up and just a lot of bad things she had to say about it. And I'm like, all right, knows it is. Knows it is.
Yeah, because I never had like infection problems with my nose at all, but not so much with the ears.
Yeah, I think I had only had my nose pierced for like maybe a few days, and it was just a stud. And that's the reason why I don't really wear studs, is because they fall out so easy. But it got caught on my blanket, and I mean, it literally fresh nose pierce, and it ripped it out, and I got a little infection. But since then, I've been lucky. So.
Well, I bought some jewelry making supplies the other day, so I'm going to try to make myself some clip earrings. Even though they're uncomfortable, just because there are some times where I just want to wear them.
Yeah.
And if it would only be for a couple hours, I could tough it out. So.
Yeah, I tried those clip-on earrings that I got, and I was like, now I know why when I did not have my ears pierced, never wore them. Because, yeah, they are very uncomfortable and they hurt and they are not fun.
I had gotten some from Amazon and they were magnetic,
Okay.
And so that's kind of a weird feeling. I don't know if I totally recommend it. It just, like, I had to put like 2 magnets on the back to make them powerful enough, and then it was like, okay, this is kind of squishy, but then the 1 magnet wasn't quite enough, so I wasn't sold on it. So if you see them, maybe just skip that purchase. Take it from me and just keep walking.
Yeah, I originally got the clip-on earrings because my daughter, I accidentally scared her out of getting her ears pierced. We were going to go get her ears pierced for her 5th birthday, and I just warned her. I said, it's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to pinch. Well, after that, she was like, I know.
Nope.
She was done, and I'm like, crap. Shouldn't have been said anything and just went with it.
Yep.
So I just went ahead and got her some clip-on earrings for when I wanted to mess around with them, just in case if somebody doesn't have their ears pierced and they wanted a pair of earrings. But yeah, I tried them on, and I'm like, she ain't gonna wear those. She's
No,
not.
a kid's not going to be able to do that.
No, if I can't deal with them, she ain't gonna deal with them.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yep. So they're, I think they're in my jewelry box over there, just sitting to the side.
I had gone to Hobby Lobby on last Tuesday because, everybody's posting videos about, the annual yarn clearance.
Yeah.
And I didn't go there for that, but we were in that town. And so I did stop, and the clearance was going on. But I think there was only like 6 things of yarn that were marked down on clearance. And all of the shelves were stocked full. So it's not like I missed the sale. Like, there just wasn't hardly anything being clearanced out. But I went over to, so I didn't get any clearance yarn, but I went over to the jewelry supplies, and there was a ton. So I got like some different little charms and some beads. And if I'm in that town again next week, I'll probably go back because they hadn't marked down like the wall where it's all the like bigger beads and like the more colorful ones. It was still like more in the charm type section where those were. So I will probably stop back in if I go to that town again in the next week or so.
Yeah, we went to Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago, and just to see if they had, because I knew it was around that time that the clearance would start, and nothing, of course. And nothing really catches my eye at Hobby Lobby anymore, unless I need DK weight, and they have like one thing, I don't even remember what it is, that is DK weight other than the Hanks. But sometimes I'm just like, do I want to get it? Do I not want to get it? Type of thing. And of course, the day after we had went there, I seen where people were posting that the annual yarn clearance, but I was like, well, I guess it hadn't hit ours yet.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't think that there's probably near as much on clearance this year.
Yeah, I seen mainly, I think it was some cotton, which that's a given that you do that every year. I can't even remember what it was, but it was kind of almost like the fractal spun yarn. Yeah, that, I can't remember exactly what you would call that. And then I seen somebody get some Hanks, and that's the only thing that I'm really interested in, is in the Hanks or the thread. That's really about what speaks my interest anymore. And if the Hanks aren't on clearance, like the annual clearance, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
I am not getting it.
There was a couple Hanks when I was there that were on clearance, but they were colors that weren't really Shannon colors. And I'm really trying to not bring yarn into my home that I would not use. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, so-and-so might like this. I'm trying very hard not to do that anymore. So, because it was merino Hanks, and they were like $4, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know what? I don't think I would use this. So I'm not going to get it to think, oh, maybe I'll make Lydia this someday. Like, just nope, just leave it. And I ended up spending way less money on beads and earring stuff. So
yeah, usually I think from what I've noticed, or at least the few years ago when I had went, usually when they have the annual yarn clearance, they also have the bead jewelry clearance off too.
Yeah.
But I think they do the jewelry maybe like once or twice a year.
Yeah, I seem like I have stumbled upon the sales for the jewelry more often.
Yeah, yeah. So quilty, I do knit, but I do not add beads, or have not yet add beads to my knitting. What you got going on?
I do not knit, but I do have, there's a New Zealand company, I think it's called Unraveled, is sending me a beginner knitting box to try out. Ooh. So I will be trying that out on the channel, just because I don't know how to knit. They actually were like, oh, can we send you this giant thing? And I was like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you I won't finish that. So I could have probably had something way bigger and way cooler, but I'm like, no, you need to send me this tiny little hat.
Right, right. Yeah, I had a company contact me. I was debating on it. Was it Unravel that might have contacted me too? Like, did they have kits and they were kind of expensive? I think they might have contacted me as well, and they just either I was like, no, I'm not doing it, or they might have not contacted me back. I don't know. I'd have to look at my email, but I remember there was a company that had contacted me for knitted kits or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, well, this would be a good opportunity for me to try it out. Yeah, and you know, I'm not out anything, and they're sending the needles, they're sending everything I need, so I'm not having to go out and, you know,
purchase.
Yeah, and look for stuff when you don't know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, if you need my help, I mean, I'm always here to help you.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, from my own experience, I had a hard time with knitting. I've talked about how if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have probably never figured out that I was actually twisting my stitches. It is very, very different from knitting, and there is a lot to learn.
Which is why I haven't really pursued it.
It's not as bad as it seems. There's just a lot to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than crocheting, because usually when you do like increasing or decreasing with crocheting, it's like, you know, very, very, there's only two things that you can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then with knitting, you have right leaning, and then you have left leaning decreases, and then you can do different stitches that will accomplish that. And then sometimes it depends on what you're doing, and there's a lot to it. And then you have different styles of knitting, and yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to knitting.
Yep.
And, I mean, I've been knitting for over almost 4 years now, and I would honestly say that I'm still beginner.
I would say you feel like a beginner. Yeah,
I feel like a beginner, which I don't know if I'll ever get out of that with knitting.
But that's okay, you know?
Yeah. But knitting has a lot to offer, and you can make beautiful stuff with knitting.
Yeah.
I would definitely knit more wearables with knitting than I would crochet. I just don't like how long it takes.
Yeah.
Because knitting does take a lot longer.
I can see that.
But doesn't take as much yarn.
I've heard that.
Yep, it does not take as much yarn.
Well, I'm just not super coordinated, so the idea of having to use both hands, I don't know about.
Well, so there's continental knitting, and then there's English style knitting.
Okay.
I do more continental, which is a lot of people who learn how to crochet or crochet first and then knit, they do a lot of continental.
Okay.
English, it's just really the way that you hold your yarn, whether you hold your yarn in your left hand, which is continental, or you hold your hand in your right hand. And English style knitting, you do more wrapping.
Okay.
For continental, you do more of like a swoop.
Okay.
I know that that's a lot to kind of maybe grasp right now, but if
Yeah, because I will be starting from zero as
Mhm.
far as where my knitting experience is. Like I can identify knitting needles
yeah,
that
the
they are not crochet hooks. That's it.
the best thing to do is get your cast on down. And
Okay.
there is also several different cast ons to do. You have long tail cast on, you have an E wrap, you've got um, German style. I mean, there's all different kinds of cast ons, and I don't even think I know all the types of cast ons. And then the two main stitches is knit and purl.
Yeah,
And then, yeah.
I've heard of
But
that.
but definitely get your cast on the way that you like, learn different techniques, and then go to knitting
Mm-hmm.
and then working on purl. Purling, I cannot stand purling. I cannot stand purling. Just because it's, for me, it's slower.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, if I don't have to purl, I don't have to purl.
I haven't crocheted with beads though either.
Yeah,
I know Kristen at Kristen Crochet, she did like a cute pillow with some heart beads because she's like all colorful and like pastel rainbowy type, and hers was real cute. But yeah, I have bought beads with the intention like I could put these in some crochet, but then I just have never done it.
Yeah, it's just, it's personally not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for those who like to do it, that's your thing. You can keep it. It's not mine. Yeah, it's just, I don't, like some things that I've seen people put like the smaller beads in with shawls, and they're really, really beautiful. And some of them look like, okay, I can do that, but it's just, it's not something that's worth trying.
I mean, I feel like as a person who doesn't have a ton of patience, I don't do super well with like tedious work.
Yeah.
I was making something and I put fringe on the bottom, and I was like, because I love the look of fringe. Oh my god, do you know how annoying it is to cut 12-inch pieces of yarn? Oh my god, I was just like, this is the worst part. I mean, I love how it looks now, but I'm like, I was about ready to scream. And it was not hard work. It wasn't hard. It was just tedious.
Yep. I have a valance that's hung up that goes to our closet in our room.
Okay.
That I started doing a diagonal fringe on last year. And it's still not done because that reason right there.
Yep.
I started just cutting pieces off, and whether they were long, short, too long, whatever, and then was just going to cut it down at an angle. Still, nope. Just because I got one side done, and that probably took me at least an hour and a half. And after that, I was like, all right, I'll come back to it. I'll do it later. No, I never did. Yeah. So it's still like, it's funny. I get that. Because it's half of it, the valance or the diagonal fringe is done. And then the other half is just there. So
just hanging out.
We were looking at it the other day, and he's like, you ever going to finish that? I said, probably not. Probably not.
Better get used to what it looks like, buddy.
Yeah. That, or I'll just take the fringe down, because
yeah,
I had full-on intentions. I was like, I'm going to make this nice. It's going to look cute. Da 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 da. Yeah. Well, that went to crap.
I get it.
Yeah. I like the look of fringe too. It's just what I think is, for one, the time it takes to actually do fringe. But for two, unless you have an actual fringe twister, which I do not, it's going to just fray
Yep.
if you put it in the wash or whatever.
Yep.
I'm just like, I don't know if I want to go through that.
Well, and I think too, I was using like a pretty decent cotton, so I think it'll be durable enough. But I was like, I wouldn't do it on this where it's like a acrylic wool blend, because this yarn is so sticky. Not sticky like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's woolly, so it kind of sticks to itself.
Yeah.
Because of the halo. And I'm like, that would be a nightmare. And it would probably look terrible because it would be just clumpy and
matted. Yeah.
Yes. Look like matted hair or something.
Yep. Yep. I like the look of fringe, but as far as doing it, you might as well forget about it. if you ever see me do fringe on a project, I probably had a wild hair up my butt that I can do it. So, and it might be the only time that I do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in a big hurry to do that again. So,
yeah. Yep. So you're working on the virus shawl?
I am, yes. So here's what I've got so far. It's getting pretty big. I'm using some of that yarn I got from Amazon. This is the Yarn Art Angora, Active Angora, I think is what it's called. I do really like it. It's very pretty. But yeah, like it has frogged decently for me, but it is definitely something where if you do a stitch that you're comfortable using, and you won't, like, don't do when you're learning on, like, if with the risk of frogging. But yeah, I've used up one of these and I just started my second one. So I'm making it super big because I want to be able to like wrap my whole body in it. And I mean, it's definitely more of a fall winter texture, but here I am doing it right now.
Just don't make it short again like you did last time.
I know. I do love a shardigan though.
You're like, what should I name this?
I'm like, this is not gonna work.
And I was like, the shardigan is perfect in my opinion because it's just comical.
Well, you know what? And maybe it will be unforgettable and people would remember, you know.
Exactly.
Although I don't know if that's what I want to be known for.
It could be a lot worse.
That's true. That's true.
Hello. What you want?
I'm checking on you.
You're checking on me.
And Daddy.
And Daddy? Just don't let them scare you this time.
I know. That was so weird. I was like alone in my house and I was just like, oh my God, somebody's in my hallway.
I was like, why is she freaking out?
Because nobody was supposed to be in my house, Sydney.
Yeah, he was trying to scare me.
No, it scared me.
Yes.
No.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye, Felicia.
Bye.
Hey, Shannon.
Hello.
And everybody else.
And everyone else. Hi.
You staying or are you going? Bye.
We got pizza to go put in the oven.
Ooh, you guys are having pizza?
I guess so. Yeah, we've got stuff to do with my mom coming in, cleaning and stuff. And he was in the process last week of building a tree house for our daughter.
Yeah.
And so he didn't get it finished last week because it's been way too hot.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's been working on. And I was like, I just went to Walmart a few days ago and I forgot a few things that I needed. And I was like, crap. Either I'm going to have to go after we get off live or I'm going to have to go at some point. And he's like, well, I'll just go because we've also got to clean up the chicken coop and the goat's pen and everything. And he's like, well, I'll just go while I'm like freaking out because I got all this stuff. I do the typical, I freak out. And he's like, I'll just go while you're alive so that you don't even have to worry about it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So he's like, just write me a list. Just tell me what you need and I'll get it.
Good.
Yeah. I guess he ended up getting pizza while they were at Walmart.
You know, that's kind of nice though, because then you're not like dirtying more dishes and everything while you're trying to clean the house.
Yeah. So, which I ended up getting paper plates for everybody with my mom and niece is going to be down here for almost a week. I was like, I am not doing that many dishes. And
Yep. And then you just don't have to worry about it. It works out better.
Yeah. Other than the silverware and whatever I with. So paper plates it is.
Yep. And that is okay.
Not to mention, I don't even think we have enough plates for everybody. Because we ended up years ago when we moved into our first trailer, my aunt, she gifted me a set of 4 that had like saucers and the big plate and some bowls. But I think there was a few saucers that probably got broken with the moving and everything. And then when we moved into another house before we moved down here, he ended up getting me for Christmas a nice 4 set that went with our theme and everything. Well, within the matter of few years, the saucers have gotten broken and so we just haven't. I have a set that I'm looking at that I really, really like. It's just we haven't done it yet or gotten it. So
I see, and I just found. So we have been. How long have we been together? Since 1997? No, 1993. And I just like 2 years ago got dishes I liked.
Really?
Yeah, and because I couldn't find anything I liked, and then one day I was at the thrift store. And there was like this 1970s pottery. It's like brown and it's got these brown flowers on it. And there was a boatload. Like I think I have like 16 plates, 16 bowls, 16 little plates. And I think I paid like $15 for the whole thing. And I was like, oh, you're coming home with me.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And I love them.
Yeah.
And they are dishwasher safe. It does say they're dishwasher safe because that's a must.
Yeah. We don't have a dishwasher unless you want to consider me the dishwasher.
We don't like have room for a dishwasher. So we have it's like we keep it in the same place in our laundry room, but it's like a portable dishwasher that you hook up to the sink.
Yes.
Yep. And so I mean it's kind of in the way in the laundry room, and I have to walk like 6 steps from my sink into the laundry room back and forth to unload it and load it, but I'm okay with that.
Hey, because that's probably better than actually sitting there and having to do dishes.
It is.
That's between dishes and laundry. Those are the 2 things that I will rather go clean the whole house, go, maybe I shouldn't really say this, but yard work, unless it's weed eating. I'd rather go do all of that than dishes and laundry. Those are the 2 things that I hate.
We kind of split things up. So because we both hate chores, neither one of us is a neat freak. Like I have diagnosed ADHD, and I'm pretty sure he has undiagnosed ADHD. And so we hate doing a lot of that stuff. So we split it up. So like he will load the dishwasher, I'll unload it. He'll take all the laundry down and put it in the washer, and then I'll bring it up and fold it all. So it makes it less torturous for both of us, but it's still torture. Like I'm just not one of those people. I wish I was, who was like gets satisfaction from cleaning stuff, but I don't. I'm like, this sucks.
I like cleaning. It's just dishes and laundry is what I hate. I absolutely I'll keep up with cleaning the laundry. It's the folding part that gets me.
Gotcha.
I can sit there and throw laundry in the washer and the dryer. It's the folding part that always gets me.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And that's the thing. He would not be able to finish that. So that's where I come in.
Yeah. He folds his clothes because he likes his clothes folded a certain way. But he also hangs up the majority of his clothes.
Yeah.
Me, I like my clothes folded a certain way. And when he folds it, it's like, I can tell you folded my clothes. And then our daughter, we've been trying to get her to, you got to fold your clothes and you got to put them up, and getting her to learn the whole process. But I'm good, thank you. You take it. Okay, I'll put it right here. Thank you. She's giving me a piece of gum.
Well, that was very nice.
Yes.
I had to quit crocheting because I'm like, my room, I have a fan pointed on me, but I tried to turn it low so you wouldn't hear it. And I'm like, oh my God, this wool is like making me too hot. So I had to quit crocheting.
Yeah.
I feel like my face is getting redder and redder as time goes on.
No, I don't see your face getting red. So
Good.
But I could also be blind as a bat, so.
Good. You might be.
I don't wear these glasses for nothing.
Mine are just readers, but I'm wearing contacts, so.
Yeah.
Totally off topic, but I did get a email. I think it was this morning it came through from Knit Picks and We Crochet. And Monday and Tuesday is when they have their 246 sale. And so that is like I had gotten these recycled alpaca, I think is what it is, for $2 a piece last year. And I think it's about like sport weight. It is 33 alpaca, 33 wool, 33 acrylic. And I'm trying to figure out how much there is here. Oh, there's 273 yards. So it's a decent amount. But yeah, so I got like 10 of these. And yeah, that sale is coming up Monday and Tuesday. And there is also bare yarns. So like undyed wools. But then there's going to be sales all through July as well. So it starts June 16th and goes through July. But that's where I got like my little mini hanks for like 90 cents and stuff like that. So I'll probably put something out on my channel about that.
Okay.
But yeah, my video won't come out till Monday night. So yeah, if you want a heads up, you can check that out on Monday morning.
And you said that was Knit Picks, right?
Knit Picks or We Crochet. They are both the same company. We Crochet has a lower shipping threshold.
Okay.
Like free shipping threshold. I think theirs is like $40, and I think Knit Picks is like $70. So. Okay. Yep.
Alrighty. I don't know if I'll get any yarn, but for anybody who is looking to buy some yarn, I've been really trying to use up the yarn in my stash, just because I want to start fresh. There's some yarns that I got years ago that it's, what am I going to do with this? Or I don't really have any anticipation of using it type of thing, where it's not my style anymore. And so that's what I've been trying to do, is at least use up that yarn and then start fresh, or, you know, just because I told him years ago that I just wish I could sit there and get rid of all the yarn that I do have and start completely over. But that
is one nice thing. I have a friend, and the woman who taught me how to crochet, and we kind of have different taste in yarn. And so like we will be like, hey, here's a bag of yarn I don't want. And then we're like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for me. So it has been nice, because then I don't feel like I've wasted my money, you know, because I'm like, okay, she's going to use this and love it. So I have a big tote. I think it's like a
50-gallon tote or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's sitting in my closet that I have stuffed full of yarn with that I'm not going to use or just needs to go somewhere else other than
Yeah.
here. I placed it on the marketplace. I've gotten several hits off of it, but it's people message, is this still available? And I say it is, and then nothing
Yeah.
else. So I'm just like, I told him if it doesn't get sold within the next month or so, it's getting taken to the thrift store because it needs to go somewhere else.
Yep. I agree. I have taken yarn to the thrift store as well. So I bought yarn at the thrift store though. So I figure I'm just completing the cycle.
Yeah. I know I bring it every day. Kelly, she does a lot of thrifting as well. And I think she goes to the thrift stores maybe once a week and she gets pretty good deals on, or she finds quite a bit of like crochet hooks, knitting needles, yarn at her thrift store.
Good.
Yeah, she's all the time. all the
See,
time.
and if I lived in a city where I had a lot more available, I would do that. It's just, I don't. Mine are few and far between.
Yeah, she's in Philadelphia, I think. So she lives in a pretty decent sized town.
Yeah. Same way with Mary from Slow Crochet. She, I think she lives in Nashville. And so she gets a lot of good thrifting bargains too.
Yep.
The town I'm closest to has 200 people in it. So it doesn't even have a gas station, let alone a thrift store.
Jeez. So how far do you have to travel in order to go to the grocery store?
Well, it would depend on what I'm looking for. So there is a grocery store that is in a town of about 500 people that is 6 miles south of me. But it's very, very small. There's 3 aisles. Like it's very, very small.
Jeez. So it's like just a little country store.
Pretty much. Prices are pretty high because it's, that's just how it is. But I do get decent meat there because like that has to continually be circulating through where like I'm not spending $2.89 on a can of tomatoes, know. So I can get meat there, but it's not my go-to. Then there is, if I were to drive about 15 miles to the east of me, there is a town with 3 different grocery stores. Well, 4. There's a Hispanic grocery store. There is a Fairway, that's like a Midwestern chain. And then there is a Dollar Fresh, which is also a Midwestern chain. And then there is a scratch and dent store there. So it's like surplus groceries. So I love a bargain. I check it out every time I'm there, but it's always weird crap. Like, and you can't go there being like, oh, I need flour and eggs and whatever. It's like you go and you just see like, oh, here's coffee and here's prunes and here's cashews. And it's just weird, random stuff. So but I do check that out. But if I was to do like if you doubted whether or not I have ADHD, this answer should prove this to you. To answer your question, if I want to do an actual day of grocery shopping where I go to like Aldi and Walmart, I have to drive 45 miles. See, wouldn't that have been easier to say?
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Like I hear myself talking and I'm like, shut up, Shannon.
No, I get it. I can, there's times that I sit there and ramble or I don't make sense, so I get it.
Just say 45 minutes.
Jeez, that's a drive, especially, flat roads. That's a drive.
Yep. Well, and they're currently they have one side of the interstate tore up for about 25 miles of that, 25, 30 miles of that is torn up. So it's completely all of the cement and rebar and everything. So they have, it's supposed to be 2 lanes interstate north, 2 lanes south, and they have 1 lane north and south right now. So it takes a little extra time.
Yeah, that construction always sucks. Always sucks. Yes.
But when you live in the middle of nowhere, it's very, very peaceful. You don't have neighbors nearby. It's so quiet. It generally costs less to live, you know, because there's no amenities and stuff. So, I mean, there's pluses. It's just...
Yeah. When you actually got to go do something, it takes some time. Yeah.
Yep. We like make a day out of it.
Yeah. It's luckily here we have, I mean, our town, I think actually city limits is 3,000, a little bit over 3,000 people.
Okay.
We have a like local grocery store, which is called IGA. They just transferred over to KJ's. And then we have, I can't ever remember if it's Food City or Food Line. I can never remember because up north it's one or the other. So
okay.
I can never remember. But in order for us to go grocery shopping at our local Walmart, it's about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not too bad, but
It's not.
no, but
I've also lived like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes from a Walmart,
Yeah.
which would, you know, and I drive by it on my way to work and home twice a day, you know, so.
yeah. I am thankful. I mean, I do most of my grocery shopping at Walmart because it is cheaper. But I'm just thankful that we do have a grocery store or two right up the road. That way, if I do forget something, then it's just, unless I've got to go get stuff for the pool, I've got to go all the way to Walmart.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Or if we got to go to, they have like a local feed store here for the animals. But sometimes I don't like going in there because they're very like, they're like salesmen.
Okay.
And it's just, they're constantly like on you. It's either one extreme or they do not want to help you at all. Or they're just, so it's, I like shopping at those local feed stores because you're helping them out. But when they're that away, it's just, but, if we've got to get like, if I don't go to the local feed store, then I've got to go all the way to Tractor Supply. But there's only certain things that I can get at Tractor Supply only that they don't get at the local feed store. So
we've got in the town I go to, you know, for our grocery shopping and all that, we have a Tractor Supply and a Fleet Farm. So really, and then there is also a Menards, which is like a home improvement, but they also have like plants and some animal supplies and stuff. So that isn't terrible, but we are also in a really rural area. So
it's, I was going to say something, but I cannot remember what I was going to say. I hate when that happens. I do not remember what I was going to say.
That happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Now it's going to bug me. What was I going to say? But I think I am about to call it quits here because I've got cleaning to do. I've got to get in the pool and clean the pool and do all that kind of stuff.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning, and thank you everybody else for hanging out with us.
Yes. Thank you, Shannon, as always, for coming up here and shooting the bull, and for those that stick around for our nonsense, because sometimes it is nonsense and doesn't make sense.
They might be nonsense people too.
Maybe that, or they just dealing with this because they have to.
That could be.
But I want to just say thank you for each and every one of you for tuning in today and sticking with us, and constantly every time we have these lives show up.
Yes.
But I hope everybody has a wonderful Father's Day for those who do support, or not support, but celebrate. And have a wonderful weekend. And we will actually see you guys hopefully next month.
Yep.
Which is, do you have a date?
I do not. I know it's July.
Shockingly, I did not write it down this time. I think it's July 17th, I believe.
Okay.
And as far as right now, it is 11 o'clock a.m. in Eastern Standard Time and 10 a.m. Central. So if anything changes, we will notify you guys on our community tab. So
Yes.
All right. We will see you guys next month.
Bye, guys.
Bye.